Hej alle sammen, hej everyone, hej allihopa, hejsa, guten morgen, bienvenue, etc. This is Moonin with a contest entry into Tommy Vinyl Notes 5-year in the vinyl community celebration and contest. He has made a very intriguing and fun contest. He wants us to grab albums where either the band name, the title, or a song title is a question. And I mulled this over, and this contest has run for a few days now. I actually saw Peter's entry before I saw Tommy's. So Peter also explains it very eloquently. And I did grab some albums where the album title is a question. And they range from the silly to gonna be quite personal, this. So I'll have to see what I end up with before I post this, because those of you who know me know that I've been on a journey, both with health and work and my connection to my dear Denmark, all of which is coming kind of to a head, I suppose, now. So I'll let the records ask the questions, shall I? So I guess the first one is just rather silly. It is from our boy, Badly Drawn Boy, or Damon Goff. And the question is, have you fed the fish? And I think the honest answer there is going to have to be no. They are all dead. No. I have never owned a fish tank or an aquarium. Have I known anyone? I think I've been to someone's home when I was much younger who had, an aquarium. Did they let me try and feed the fish? No. Have I been involved in some sort of organization that feeds fish in sort of a New York Italian kind of way? No. No, I haven't. What else? Yeah, no. Sorry. I have never fed a fish, I think. Sorry. The next question comes from British Sea Power. And as they were once called, it's a British band, English, and I'm rather partial to them. I have, up to a point, all their studio albums on CD, but then I quit buying them because apparently for some reason, not to offend anyone, they slashed the word British and now are only called the Sea Power, and that sort of rubbed me the wrong way. But anyway, they are asking the question, do you like rock music? That's an odd question. Do I like rock music? Huh. Yeah, you know something? I think I do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. Since I was like 3 or 4 years old. Older brothers, they contaminated my head with all this rock music. And yeah, I think I could honestly say, yeah, I like rock music. So the next one, and now comes the heavier part. So, had to have a Norwegian record, of course. Well, this was all. I grabbed records that, had questions in the title, and this is our wonderful artist from Norway, Aurora. And she asks, what happened to the heart? And I thought I had kind of the answer to that question. And what happened to the heart? Well, I'm assuming she doesn't mean from a health aspect. So yeah, I grew up with a mother who were not very, let's say, nice, and a wonderful father who did everything he could to provide for us. And all he really wanted in life, I guess, beside that, was to find someone and have children. He had an older daughter, but yeah, let's not go into that. My late half-sister. And my mother just did everything to make his life miserable and cast herself as a victim of life. In fact, she lied about her where she came from and everything, and claimed she was half Italian and etc. And of course, that turned out to be untrue. She was, adopted from a woman who was a washing lady and had 6 other children. Her father, who was not in the family, he was in jail for, I think the paper said, unseemly something or other, sexually with something or other. Let's not dwell too much into that. So she was adopted by, after being in and out of children's homes, by a couple from Stockholm. And then she married her first husband, I think. She must have done that around 18 or 19 years old. I moved to Norway, where she had my older brother when she was 19, and my next brother when she was 21. Later on, she must have met my father maybe in her early 30s, and she drank, and she did unspeakable things to my dad. And then the question is, where is my heart? Did I believe in love? Well, I did fall in love a couple of times in my life, and with various people growing up in my teens, and I never had any success with girls in that matter, really. Did have some, hints that women were great, girls were great when I was sort of 14, 15, but after that, just failure per failure. Then I fell in love online with a beautiful, blonde, short Australian girl with a son, and we were on and off there for a while I was living in Denmark, by the way. And she came up to Denmark and stayed with me with her son for a couple of weeks, and I was so in love. And then a couple of months later, I went to Australia to stay with her and her son for 2 months to see how things went. And I remember sending flowers for her 30th birthday, and just days before I was leaving. And that was the one time someone said, I love you to me, and I was so happy. And then I went there, and I don't know if I remembered how things had gone in Denmark too well, but when I got there, I got the feeling that despite all the, looking forward to seeing you, she reacted to me not reacting the way I should when I got there, after having been on an airplane for a very long time. And 3 days into my stay there, she broke it off. And that was in the year 2000, and that was my last stint with love and relationships. And yes, I have fallen for 1 or 2 women after that as well. But so where is the heart? I don't know. And what happened to it? Well, it's been congealed by silver. I don't know. It's in here somewhere, and apart from pumping, blood around my body, it remains unutilized and will do so for the duration. So next question is from Echo and the Bunnyman, and it is, what are you going to do with your life? Well, like I said, we were going to personal and heavy. This was Echo and the Bunnyman's second album, by the way, after their reunion. It's kind of been called the Ian McCulloch solo album because it's very much him. It's very orchestral, very little guitars and everything, and I suppose its mood is very much reflected in the title. As far as me and what am I going to do with the rest of my life, well, I'm turning 55 on May 12th. And one thing I don't want to do with the rest of my life is sit in this apartment and listen to all those ambulances and police cars and fire trucks, which use the street outside my window as a major ferry. Yeah, you know the word that I don't know apparently. And there's a heavy drug users milieu on the corner there because they hand out free, whatever, cannula. Sprøyter, and I don't like it here, and yet I've owned this apartment for 31 years, although I haven't lived in it for that long, because I moved to Denmark when my dad died, and I had just bought this place, and I kept it and I rented it out. So I lived in my house in Denmark, which I am now in the process of selling. So I've been on sort of a health leave from work for the past years, and because of my health, which was really bad, especially after COVID. And I basically was now let go by my employer because I'm not coming back as far as my health goes quickly enough. My doctor doesn't recommend it, not that type of work, and they didn't want to do permanent accommodations for me to get back to that job. So I'm in the process of talking to, the institutions that deal with people who are now basically unemployed, and the health, and my doctor and everything. And my doctor has sent in papers to see if we can get me a retirement for health reasons. That's very much in the blue. So I put my house up in Denmark for sale last year, and I had to lower the price in the price period because there's no interest. And now someone has bid on the house, and it's a lot less than I would have had hoped, and it's a lot less than we put it down to. But I will probably have to make up my mind about selling it by the end of this week and get the stuff that I want to keep out of there and in some kind of storage down there. And I'm, my blood and my entire body basically I feel like I have like liquid carbon dioxide in my entire body right now. And I am trying to get on my computer and buy a ticket to go back to Denmark. Maybe I was going to go this morning, but I postponed it. I'll try maybe tomorrow via Sweden, by the way. Maybe have a night at a nice hotel there, because the ferries we had from Oslo directly to the northern part of Denmark, they're just gone now. And so basically I have to, either have to go so that you end up arriving the same day but late at night, and I don't like that. So that's why I want to go to Gothenburg and spend the day and have a nice night at the hotel, and then leave from Gothenburg very early in the morning and then arrive in Denmark around noon, which I hope to do. So what is going to happen to me after that, if these things happen? I don't know, guys. And I just want to say that this is, of course, very personal, and you shouldn't probably make personal videos, but you guys know me, and I know me for many years, and this video is for Tommy, and I wanted to do it, but at the same time sort of share with you guys in the vinyl community and a couple of girls what is happening with me. And this was a good way to do that, I guess. And because you guys have meant a lot to me the last 3 or 4 years. I love communicating with you. Some of you have become my Facebook friends, and we've talked. I even met one of you in Stockholm last year, and so that is why I did this, and that is the question. And because the question was, what are you going to do with the rest of my life? I don't know. My hope is that if I do get retirement over health issues, I want to sell my flat here in Oslo, and then I want to move down to Skagen in Denmark. And despite not being able to be in my childhood home anymore, it's in any case, despite everything and the price and me not can afford to keep the upkeep and everything, it's too big for me. I didn't get a partner or a wife, I guess you'd say if you're an old-fashioned, or children. So I need something smaller in any way. And then hopefully, because I feel at home there. I feel at home with the nature. I feel at home with the Denmark zeitgeist and Denmark mood and the Danish everything. And my happiest moments in growing up was down there. And the last month of my dad's life before he came back to Oslo and then had to go to hospital and basically passed away, we spent there in Skagen. And I go to the places on the beach and along the coast and everything where my dad grew up, and I see myself in those moments and with him, and that's what I want to re-experience. So last question, or last entry, because we needed 5, right, Tommy? I think so. Is the Strokes with the "Is This It?" And it is. That's it. I hope the world, we get through whatever this world is going now. I hope all of us and all of you guys out there get to be happy and live long lives further. And are we going to see man land on the moon again? Maybe, if we live long enough. Are we going to see man land on Mars? I don't think any of us will. Sorry, guys, don't want to be a pessimist. But I think the problem was that I think one of the problems is that we invented this. And I think that's held us back, because all the focus and all the worries about technology and all the ideas for technology is pumped into these things and what we are doing here. And I think we should have been on Mars by now. But then again, if the Roman Empire hadn't been destroyed, maybe we would have been beings of light and energy by now. Sorry, I was thinking about Babylon 5 earlier. Anyway, guys, please head on over to Tommy's channel. If you haven't already subscribed, then you should, of course, do that. And read and see his instructions for this contest. And I hope this video and this entry qualifies. And I hope I didn't scare the shit and crap out of you guys. And I said 2 words which are probably not legal on YouTube. But yeah, guys, wish me luck, and then also wish me luck. Hope to see you guys soon in another video.